successful excuses. Right? Look how much time, when I saw this clip, like, look how much time he's spending on this. Just go to the store, right? Just go. A whole lot of time. And I find that many people, including myself, I'll own it, I find that many people spend more time developing their excuses rather than developing themselves, right? It's something I bring up to my team often. It's something I bring to myself often. Every time I put this as a blocker. In fact, when Dave texted me and said, I want you to speak on laziness, I was like, what? I'm not lazy. What are you trying to say? And then I realized there's many components to this, and it made me really think it out and come up with it, you know, what's my story around this? And I have it. 13 years ago, I was eligible for welfare. Can you imagine? I mean, it can make me cry thinking about it. 13 years ago, I was eligible for welfare. And it was everyone else's fault, by the way. Not mine. And that's legit. You know, we all have legit excuses, right? That's legit. I gave so much power away. I really did. I mean, we were broke. I had my husband, I had a kid, I was very overweight. You know, there was all these things going wrong, but it wasn't my fault. I didn't take any personal responsibility for it. You know, a few years before that, I had gotten a virus, and it nearly killed me. And what was planted in my head at the time by my doctor was, you're never going to recover from this. Even if you survive, which I did, even if you, obviously, so even if you survive this, you're never going to recover from it. You know, this is something that's always going to impact your life. You're never going to, I was, by the way, a college athlete, and this happened when I was in college. It destroyed my whole, you know, athletic career, all that. And here I was, like, I didn't know any other life. And I bought it. I bought the story. So now it is, a few years later, I'm married, I had a kid, I'm overweight, we're broke, I'm educated, I have 2 degrees. I'm like, how does this even happen? So I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Anyone read it? Robert Kiyosaki. So I get this book and I read it, and what does it say in there? I'm going to give you the gist of it. Take responsibility, write it down. You know, really get real with yourself. Write it down. So I started now with the money aspect of it. I started writing it down. Where's my money going? What's the incoming and outgoing? And I learned something. It was like the craziest aha moment. I still have this book. By the way, this book that I picked up, it was just a ledger, and I went to like Staples and it cost $3 or $4. I had to scrounge around to find the money to buy the ledger. And I decided to sacrifice one of my meals to get it. Is that insane? I mean, when I think about it now, where I'm at, I'm like, that's insane to even get there. Anyway, so I started filling out the ledger, and something became so clear to me. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. I was making money. It just didn't feel like it. It just didn't feel like it. So I started to change all my financial habits. I started to work more, find more work. You know, my husband and I started doing this, you know, really getting real about this and taking responsibility. Within 4 months, I had a contract on the house I live in now. And for those of you who don't know or don't know me, I live in the suburbs of Manhattan. It's expensive. And I was able to do that in such a short amount of time because I got so much more clarity on it, and I took responsibility. Instead of using all the excuses that, of course, we all have these legit excuses, and I know you might be thinking in your head, no, mine's really legit. This is really, this is why I'm not doing it. Trust me, I've been there. You know, here I am fat. And I had to, you know, I had to be fat because if I started exercising, I could hurt myself. And the doctor already told me that I wasn't going to recover from this, and so he's right. He has to be right. And then I said, well, what if I just started eating better and walking? Is that supposed to kill me? Like, so I started doing that, and I got in the best shape of my life at that time. Don't look now. But I'm getting there again. I'm getting there. I'll be getting there again. But again, you know, I know we want to get back on time and I don't want to spend too much. What I want you to think about is yourself. How real are you being with yourself, even when it comes to your excuses? Again, would you rather be successful or have successful excuses? I could have told stories around all my excuses that people would be like, wow, holy cow, now I totally get it. Yeah, that's real. I totally understand. But it wasn't good enough for me because my excuses after a while just didn't even feel good. I don't want to be where I'm at the time. I didn't want to be there. Was I going to keep telling this lie to myself that I had a reason to be there? That's laziness. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your life and what you want. Get real with it. Write it down. I'm a huge fan. So just as a last note, and I know you made fun of me a little bit last time, here's my book that I have. I have everything. My life is in here. I take it with me everywhere. I travel a lot. I always have it. I write down exactly. I wrote in it this morning. I write what I want. I look at it every day. I read it every day. I visualize it every day. Visualizing is so, so powerful. When people say, well, how do I do this? Write it down. So my former life, just very quickly, I was a cognitive psych researcher. You could train your brain. You could create new neural pathways to meet your vision. Did you know that? You could train belief. Did you know that? A lot of people don't know that. You could train belief. So even if you don't believe something right now, like they said, dream big and then throw it out and dream bigger, right? But you're saying, well, I can't do that. I can't even fathom this. Well, that's okay that you can't fathom it. Write it down, make a vision out of it, say it over and over, and create a neural pathway that'll bring about your belief. And then when you look back in 6 months or a year or 5 years or whatever it is, you're going to say, holy cow, I never even imagined that that could happen. But you have to take the first step. Sometimes people only see, the bigger picture and it seems like a beast. And they don't know how to break the beast down. You break it down by doing this. And then this. When I started exercising again, I never said, all right, I'm going to exercise. So today I'm going to do 6 miles. Or where's Troy? His 7 miles to the sign. I was like, oh my Lord. I didn't say that. I said, I'm going to go walk for 5 minutes. Or I'm going to go walk to the corner. Whatever it is for you, break it down into the steps. And then the next day, do a little bit more. And the next day, do a little bit more. Whatever it is, just do a little bit more. The next thing you know, you're on the path to what you want and where you're going. But don't be lazy about it. Don't be lazy. You got to get hungry. If you're not hungry, you're not going to make it happen. Get hungry.
That movie clip, I've used that line, I have to admit. I'm sorry, this is so transparent this week and I keep telling you guys secrets. But like my